In the last video, you saw how I fired my setter. You see how active every single Slack channel is in the way we communicate. So why are you saying that you're there for the team if it doesn't reflect into your actions? Because I don't see that you're here for the team at all. How many people have you seen leave and join in the past 8 months?
Well, almost nobody, almost everyone.
Now, in today's video, I'm going to show you the exact operating system which allowed me to hire a new A-player setter within under 24 hours. The new setter that we onboarded is doing fucking crazy. So yeah, we're doing amazing. We have an insane amount of calls on the calendar. Everything is going like fucking perfect. And we got another, as you can see, $10,000 payment coming. The first thing we need to understand is the actual setting process that I will be covering. The second step is how does the actual conversational flow work? So we are going to cover 8 steps: the inbound flow, outbound flow, the story replies, and how to deal with each situation, right? Because from a psychological perspective, this is all different. And the setter just doesn't need to be good only. He needs to understand our grow acquisition internal conversational flow for him to understand how to deal with our type of clients, with our market and our industry. Then the third step is the type form. We got over 347 applications. And I'm not only going to cover how we vet all these conversations, but also how we make the right decisions and the exact questions that we want to ask our setters to make sure that we get the right one within 24 hours. Then the fourth step is the actual story that we applied to get all these applications, our calendar, what type of pre-call videos our setter sends, the type of pre-call videos we have in the first place, as well as how our setter sends the actual follow-up messages. And the last one is tracking. How do we accordingly track everything? How do we manage our leads? And how do we teach and get our setter onboarded into this process to make sure that he can kill it from day one? Now, the first step from the setting process is application. Same as you do need to have traffic to actually get sales and leads, you need to have traffic to be able to hire the right people, right? Hire A-player talent. Now, we got over 347 applications. And the questions that we ask are very important for us to filter out the right and the wrong people. As you can see, we have a very good amount of applications. Out of these 347 applications, around 150, 200 are real good applications. Let's go over the questions that we ask. So first of all, how do you feel like you will be able to bring value to the team? The second question is, what are your goals in the company? The reason we're asking this is because nowadays, you shouldn't be looking for skill and opportunity. You should be looking for loyalty. The third question is, what are your current monthly earnings? If people say $20,000 a month, how do you think they will ever be satisfied with anything less than that? Very important question. What is your desired monthly earnings in 6 months? How realistic do people think, right? In their goal setting, their expectation setting, and the desire that they have to make more money. Why do you want to be a setter for grow acquisition specifically? And then ultimately, obviously, a custom Loom video of 3 to 5 minutes for them to explain their progress and everything that we're doing. Why do you want to be a setter in grow acquisition? What is your track record, your results? And do you have actual proof of this? We are a company that leads with data. Everything that we do and the reason why we get client results is because we accurately track everything. Now, that reflects into our onboarding process as well. If we hire someone new, we need to have that validation of proof that people can show us based on the fact that they're actually qualified to work with us. Now, the second process is vetting. My COO does the vetting. So he goes to all these conversations, he checks the qualified looms, and then after that, we get people into a qualification group setting. So we hop on a call, right? And when we have that call, we'll do live role play with everyone. Within 1.5 hours, we can see exactly who is operating like a professional setter and who still has to learn a lot of things. After that call, me and my COO have a meeting and we choose 2 people. We get them onboarded into the system. They are now in the trial phase of the onboarding to becoming a setter for grow acquisition. 1 week test phase. So for 1 week, and this is very important, right? We have an onboarding process where they can prove themselves. Who is better? Now, the fun fact here is they are going to fucking compete against each other, which is amazing because that is what we need them to do. When they compete against each other, we ultimately at the end of the week have a final result. And the result is very simple. I don't care who, likes the company more. I don't care who worked harder. I don't care. We look at the final result. We look at who did book more qualified appointments. It's very simple, right? We are only going to look into the actual process of likability, of communication, relationship, when we get somebody onboarded in the actual team. Why would we spend time on someone and something whenever that person isn't there for us, right? As founders, we have limited time. So spend your time wisely, right? It's the difference between like a potential hire and a hire is the same as a lead and a client. You take care of your fucking client the moment they got access to your systems, your process, your accountability, your support, and you as a founder. You'll do everything for them. Same as you do for your fucking team. But you're not going to have 2-hour coaching calls with all your leads. It's impossible. After that final result, we get them onboarded in Mochi here, which I'm going to show you on a bit. I'm not going to go over that in detail because we have another video that I made about this. Slack, the team, ultimately expectation setting. This is very, very important. The reason why I was able to work with our prior setter that you saw that I fired in the last video, he brought in a very, very good amount of money. And by the way, he's an amazing setter. He did great. I love him and he's going to be very successful in what he does. He just wasn't a great fit for grow acquisition. And the reason why it did work out for such a long time, because you know in this industry, setters get fucking fired every 2 weeks. We don't have that. The reason we don't have that and the reason I can prevent this from happening is because we set extremely fucking clear expectations. Very clear expectations. KPI, tracking, feedback loops and notes. And after that happens, we have a 3-time-a-week team meeting. The person who is onboarded in the official team right now will have a 3-time-a-week meeting. And for the first 2 weeks, twice a week with me and my COO every week, we have setters shadow sessions and feedback role plays. How can you expect a setter to perform well on its role whenever you don't shadow their work, whenever you don't actually engage with them every single week, whenever you don't show them how the work's supposed to be done, whenever you don't accurately give feedback to that setter, when you don't tell them how to track everything, when you don't explain them how the actual conversational flow works. To go a little bit more deep into this, we have 8 stages within our appointment setting process. The first thing is actual profile research, right? Profile research allows us to personalize every conversation. Then we have a personalized opener. We identify the problem. Then we do a very deep dive on their situational awareness. And that situational awareness, step 4, is what really, really fucking builds the trust. That is not how we do outreach because that is how everybody is currently doing it, which is why it's wrong. I'll tell you what I do. When somebody DMs info, I click on their profile. I check out their content slightly and I say something like, I see you're doing solid with your content, even though they're not, doesn't matter. I just say, oh, I see you're doing solid with your content, or, oh, you have a decent amount of followers, or I see you're picking up content, you're doing good. The reason why I say this based on their current situation is because then it feels like that I've already checked out their profile. So I can go to somebody's profile. If I go to my chats now, I can go to this guy, copywriting coach, and I can click on his profile. And as an opener, I could say, solid testimonials. Credibility shouldn't be the problem. Are you currently mainly struggling with traffic? So I make an assumption. You see what I do? Imagine how he would read that. Say like, oh, fuck, you checked out my, oh yeah, my testimonials are good. Oh, traffic. Yeah, Nick, fuck, you're right. You're struggling with traffic. That's true. Instead of like, hey man, thanks for reaching out. Here's the lead magnet. You see the difference?
Yeah, I get that.
So when we're doing that, this is just the start. I say, okay, I see you're doing solid with content or solid testimonials. And then you say something like, oh, credibility doesn't have to be the problem. Is it that you're struggling with traffic? You're making an assumption. An assumption is not bad to make, right? Because they can say, nah, Nick, you know what? Thank you for saying testimonials are great. It's not really the traffic. It's mainly the conversion. Say, okay. You know what I mean? That's the responses you get. Or I can say, oh, you have a decent amount of following. You're reaching out because you have a hard time converting them into buyers. It's like you already checked out their personal stuff. You're reaching out because you have a hard time converting them into buyers. Because he has a decent amount of followers, I make the assumption that he probably has a hard time converting them into buyers. That is the most high likely chance. And he's like, yeah, fuck, yeah, you're right. You see how much more, and also how I frame the conversation and the words that I use and how I frame it. It looks like a friend instead of a robotic fucking conversation. This is the reason why people trust us and go away from our competitors, because we truly show how much we care about them, not the moment they become our clients. That's what most people do. We truly care about them from the fucking start. The moment they didn't pay us a single fucking dollar, we send them pre-call assets. We send them value videos. We make customized game plans for them. We do everything for them. Then, constrained qualification, obviously. This is the thing. When you did such a good deep dive, the qualification process will be very, very efficient and easy. You don't have to dive deep into knowing if they actually have money, because you probably already resolved the problem. Now, this is very interesting because we do support level routing. We don't do this. We don't sell different offers. We have one offer and we sell different levels of access. This is actually a very big constraint that most people have, because when you have a very big audience, I want you to listen right now. When you have a big audience, you know what the problem is that most people have when they have a big audience? They are trying to figure out to sell multiple offers, but the only thing that is happening is your audience is getting confused. So what are we doing to prevent this problem? What we are doing is we have one offer, but we're selling different levels of access to these people, meaning the offer doesn't change. The confusion wouldn't be there, but the level of access that we're selling to these people is exactly what fucking changes. And that is why we are constantly able to actually give every single person a personalized approach based on what they need, for them to actually feel engaged with the conversation at scale. And we can do this at scale because we have Mochi as an operating hub where we manage everything. You see where I'm coming from? Recommendation and positioning, and ultimately we close it to the call. The point of a setter is to book a meeting. It's not to actually close a deal. That is what the closer does, right? So we have a whole process about the actual inbound conversational flow. I won't go over it, but I'll allow you to screenshot everything so you know exactly what openers work really well, what openers we are using currently here. With setting, it's not about saying the good things. It's about not saying the wrong things. It's easy to say the right things, but it's not easy to prevent your setter from saying the wrong things, because one wrong line, one wrong sentence, one wrong word can prevent a lead from booking a fucking call. I always, first when I see a conversation, I'm not going to panic about how to answer the question. I literally forget the question and I look at this. I'll tell you the process behind it. So I look at the top here also. I look at this. So, okay, cool. Honestly, one is paying 3K a month up front, which is nice, but I'm paying front. Okay, what do you see when you read this? Emotion-wise.
Yeah, like they're not happy to be telling you that.
Yeah, what is that emotion?
The situation.
It's kind of like shame and unclarity again. It's the same thing. Shame and unclarity. What do you see when you read this?
At the start, like
just everything overall.
Yeah, it is unclarity. Like they don't know what to go.
It doesn't have to be different. You don't have to think about is what I know. It's just unclarity.
Yeah.
So all this bullshit is unclarity again, which is good because now we're not back at the beginning where the person expresses the unclarity for the first time. That's, it's choice unclarity, meaning this person you already know based on the conversation is very sensitive, is very, very easy adaptable. You know that for a closer guy, it's like this person is very sensitive. So you got to be very careful with what you say. But this could also be a plus point because it could be a person that is very easy to convert. But it could also be a person that if you say one thing wrong, he thinks you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
Right? Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
So I always analyze the conversation and I look at, not at the question, I look at this, cool, this is unclarity and paradox of choice. You don't know what for choice to make. Cool. Then I organize my head and I go over the first sentence. I say, honestly, one is paying 3K upfront, which was nice, but the other one, I had to do payment plan for 1K a month, 3, because she said she couldn't afford it for once. Then I stop at the first sentence. I just read the first sentence and I try to respond to it. I say, signing 1 or 3K clients here and there is frustrating. Again, same thing. Will take a long time to hit 50K a month in profit. End destination, the end goal, right? And I say it will take a long time for you to hit 50K a month if you want to have 1 to 3K clients, right? Now, why am I saying 50K per month?
It's like so out of their reach, but it's in front of them. It's something that like a lot of people at, this stage would want.
I would expect, and normally I'm not wrong, when somebody is signing, has their first clients and is signing 1 to 3K clients here and there and is doing 5 to 10K per month and whatever, their next desired goal would probably be 50K per month, maybe lower, maybe 30, 50, 30. If I would say, we'll take you a long time to hit 200K a month. It's like, bro, what are you even saying? 200? Is that even realistic? It's like you say you predict their next potential outcome.
Yeah.
And now, bro, I also want you to understand. It's not, I don't need you to follow this exact structure and talk about this all. I just want you to understand, because sometimes next time you have a conversation, it could be completely different. I just want you to understand what I do. So I read this, I put an emotion to it, and I try to explain that emotion. It's like signing 1 to 3 here is very frustrating. It will take a long time to hit 50. Because this person trusts me already, he's gonna now think, fuck, yeah, wait, 1 to 3, like Nick is right. He's gonna be like, yo, Nick, actually, like it's gonna take me a long time. Like, really? See what I mean? Like, fuck, Nick, is that true? Like, fuck. The profile funnel has nothing to do with the amount of followers. It's the way we acquire clients that makes it important. So now we went from, you remember when that person said this? I don't know if it's something at my level. We fully figured out their whole pain and be like, where are we at? Fully figured out their pain and be like, yo, profile funnel, it's not you need it and we have the client results to prove for it. No, now this person believes that the profile funnel is the vehicle to get him from that unclarity to 50K per month. So the clarity is there and the desired outcome is there. And now I'm trying to make it complex. Forget all the bullshit that I say again. Try to just understand the core of how you take the emotion out of it and then you try to reframe it. So I explain, okay, cool. So now this person probably thinks, okay, cool. The profile doesn't matter at my size anymore. Is it something for me? Yeah, it's something for me because there's a reason behind it. The first thing we must do, and I technically explain the same thing in a different way. We need to get clarity on the business. This person says, what is for something like me? The reason why do you think I say the first thing we must do is a full business audit to get clarity on building your game plan, instead of the first thing we must do is build offer. The first thing we must do is add traffic. The first thing we must do is, why do I say specifically business audit?
I think it's for them to be interested in getting us to look at their product and their offer.
Yes, but what does a business audit provide? A full business audit provides, or a game plan provides, that traffic doesn't.
It's able to see like where any roadblocks might be, where there's any issues like
Correct.
within.
The only work that a business audit does is it gives people clarity.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a game. If I tell you, Chris, we start and we'll figure it out, compared to, hey, Chris, you know what? We'll hop on. We'll just take an hour to really look at your situation and then we fucking take off the fucking jet. It's like, what was the person struggling with through the whole conversation? There's one word.
I think it's just the clarity moving forward.
Clarity. That's the only fucking thing. So what is the thing that provides clarity? It's a business audit and a game plan on their situation to get that clarity. Super easy, bro. After they reply who got DM'd, we have the whole outbound story reply here. What to do and how to reply whenever you actually run a story sequence. Then we have the outbound conversational flow. Whenever you reach out to new followers, how to engage with them, how to start the conversation, and what to do different compared to the inbound conversational flow. We have the DM closing framework, the objection handling framework, as well as the psychology behind every message.
Like he's already spent 4K on courses and then he's trying to like learn from 3 coaches for free all at once.
That hates courses because he has been burned by it. And we can be like, no, our course is valuable, but we have to accept his belief out of his experience and his thought process, right? He thinks that courses are shit. So are we going to attack that and say, no, courses are good and my course is better. Trust me, our course is good. Look at our testimonials. No, we're going to just accept and try to shift his belief in that. But in this case, not even shift his belief because he needs done with you. So what I said is, if I would have said, it's definitely important you have support so you don't have to figure it out alone with a bunch of information. If I would say that, What would I do if I don't say valuable? If I would just say with a bunch of information.
Like it downplays your program.
Exactly. I would literally say my course is shit. Literally that. I would literally say my course is shit. I'm saying it's definitely important you have the support. And because I'm reinstating, like, it's true that he doesn't just need video materials. Like, you don't have to figure it out all with a bunch of information. That's like, bro, that's like, I'm literally telling my course is fucking shit. By just adding valuable, you make everything different. I say you don't have to figure it out all alone with a bunch of valuable information. I'm saying my course is good, but you don't only need the course, right?
Yeah.
You currently don't have years to figure out to make this work. We have to be efficient and fast. Now, why do we need to be efficient and fast? And why do I say we need to have years? Because this fucker lives in London. He has 8K in rent. It isn't cheap, bro. Rent in London. This guy needs to figure it out in the upcoming months, bro. Right? It's like, but it's trading time for money. And that's the whole reason I wanted to start a coaching business in the first place. Already didn't move the needle. See, this guy needs fucking something quick, bro. See what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. He's just in that loop right now where he's got to figure it out. Otherwise, it's just like a shit situation.
You need clarity, a game plan, and the right information. And support applicable to that so we can get you out of that 1 to 3K model range as quickly as possible. This is normally a very standard setter rule, but because I said everything else, it makes sense to say this.
Yeah.
Normally it's fucking gay to say, but now it makes sense. Why a message is important to send, lead engagement system, tracking operations, the language and tones we use, the key frameworks, right? The speed reference table. So how fast do you respond to a certain message at what time and why is that happening? When we teach our setters this, and we have a 2-hour to 3-hour module course around this, that we let every setter go through the moment they get on board, even before the actual test phase, they are going to get up to date and they're going to get to know how setting for GA works. This is what every company should have. Every client that we get on board, we build them a setting process. The reason why this setting process is important is purely because this is exactly what works for your language, for your tone of voice, for the approach that you have in your niche with your market, for how you act as a founder. Do you see where I'm coming from? That's very, very fucking crucial. And after we do a report analysis, right? Month 1, what has actually happened? How much money has the setter made? Did he or she hit the KPIs? And how can we track everything accordingly from now? Then for the second month, and this is very important as a founder, if you miss this, you'll probably lose your setter within under 2 months. If you don't set a clear goal with your setter, how will your setter ever get clarity on how he or she can make more money? On how the team culture actually works, how everything operates in the company, and how can your setter then ever see the fucking vision? Impossible. So we reverse engineer goal setting. We talk about do's and don'ts and pros and cons. And this is the point. This is very interesting. Every single person that gets on board in my team in Grow Acquisition, after a month, I let them start. I actually built SOPs for them. So as an example, the video that I'm currently making is already a great SOP for my setters. The fun fact is that when a setter gets on board, and this system that I showed you isn't recorded by me, right? The official module, the 2 to 3 hour process, isn't recorded by me, is recorded by our COO. You want every single person in the company to at least make 3 SOPs every single fucking week. Because the moment you hire someone new or you try to replace that role or you're trying to find somebody new in a similar position, you have all the SOPs ready. Now, when this happens, right, I want you to get to understand one thing, and I want to talk about one thing. This is all amazing. This setting process is great, but Nick, how do I get a setter whenever I don't have a following or a brand? You can do 2 things now. You can either go to a website and find some retarded setter that you'll probably fire in a week because he didn't hit his KPIs. He doesn't care about the company, he isn't loyal. Or you can make the decision today to start building a brand with intention for you to have the availability and the possibility to attract amazing people in your company. Now, that is an easy answer because I know it's not fucking easy. You need to do so many things to be able to hire and fire the right people. That's why you need to find a way to get access to a pool of opportunities of setters that can start working for you. Because I can tell you right now, all these bullshit websites that people make like videos about where you can hire setters, is not the opportunity. You need to either find someone with a pool of setters that you can get access to, whether it's paid, whether it's organic, whether it's through any sort of access, whether it's through a friend. You can either reach out to people on Instagram to have the opportunity to actually hire a good new setter, or you can start building your brand today for you to attract these types of people, right? You can sell your expertise online, build something credible for you to have the opportunity to do things like this. And don't have the highest expectations today. I don't know where your business is at. It could be at 10,000 a month, 100,000, a million a month. And depending on the level where you're at, you will either attract the top A players, you will either attract B players, or you will either attract C players. And you have to accept that fact. I didn't got the greatest, this is a big limiting belief a lot of people have. I didn't got the greatest people to work for me the moment I was starting out. Not even now. There are so many more better setters on this earth than the ones that are working for Grow Acquisition. Trust me. There are better founders than me. There are better COOs than my COO. There's a better team on earth than our team. But you need to start somewhere. And every time you're improving, you'll be able to attract better talent and better people. Now, most of the time, whenever clients work with us, we always help them with their setting process. We help them with the actual conversational flow of how to structure everything. And sometimes we even give them access to a list of amazing setters for them to have the opportunity to actually get to work with someone great, right? Because we know all of our setters. We actively, every week, have group sessions with setters. My main setter has that, group sessions every single week with setters to keep a pool of setters available for our clients because they're actually very active in the way we work with them, and to learn them something new, to show how the GA operating system works when it comes down to setting and sales specifically. You need to have a setter. You have to understand, right? If you don't engage with leads every single day, you don't follow up with leads every day, you don't have conversations with leads every single day, how can you expect to make money? Why do you expect that they'll just come to you and to just tell you, yo, send me the payment link? You must have fucking an insane amount of brand credibility to be able to have that opportunity for people to do that. So make sure that you implement everything that I told you today, because this is very important, extremely, extremely important. And let me show you why this is important. Now, we'll see here, obviously, whenever we manage this accordingly, I get my setters onboarded into Mochi, into our system. We can choose the status. So for example, whenever a setter wakes up and he only wants to engage with the qualified leads, cool, you have fucking 500 leads to talk to based on the qualification process. Every single day, there are new qualified leads coming in. So you don't have to engage and find the people that were qualified. You don't have to, it's a fucking mess. Then you can add tags as well. So the people that you send the calendar link to, the people that you send the payment link to, the people that did interact with Mochi, with one of our offers, anything, tag timeline, when did this happen, and any source. We can filter based on direct message. So the outbound that we sent, comment, story reply, or outbound. Obviously, this is indirect message. Sorry, this is inbound, this is outbound, and then story and comment, which is amazing. And we can customize this fully based on the story, the reels, the post, the interactions with each post. There's so much shit in this info game with people telling you how operating systems and setters work. But the fun fact is that nobody ever proves themselves based on the amount of money that they make on how to actually build a proper process. We built this fucking software because we know that we can dominate this industry, and we know how important appointment setting is and the conversion of it. So I want to tell you one thing. Whoever you listen to, if that's somebody else, if that's me, or if that's even somebody else, doesn't matter. I don't care. You should do what you feel comfortable doing. But listen to one person, because only one person that you trust will give you the right advice. And there's one thing that I can tell you, please. Just look at their track record, the amount of money that they make, and the things they've done for their clients. If these three answers are positive for you, whoever the fuck that is, choose that person to listen to and only listen to that person. Because the thing that I've been seeing going so fucking wrong for so many people is they are talking about things as if it's standard. And I'm like listening to it and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? This is completely out of scope. This is not how setting is being done. There are clients getting on board. They're telling us, yo, we need more leads. We need more leads. Our conversion is amazing. I look at their fucking setting process, the way they manage their leads, the amount of leads that they get, the way they engage with their leads and everything. It's absolutely fucking shit. And this is shocking over and over again. Every single time. People don't underestimate. People don't understand how a business should be run. And when you get the right information, you need to fucking execute on it. I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it was valuable, and I'm fucking excited to make so many more videos like this. Like the fact that you guys are watching this is just makes me feel good, because every day I see fucking 4,000 or 5,000 steady views coming in, 4,000 or 5,000 people watching, hundreds of likes. And that's fucking insane. That pushes me every day to make more videos like this. And you are the one that is watching now that stick to the end of the video. So specifically to you, I really want to fucking appreciate you, because you are the reason I'm doing this.